I want to go back to what your dad and the origins of LearnIt. This started as your father's vision, obviously, and you speak very highly of him. So how have you honored his legacy while reshaping the company into what you want it to be today? And it's been 30 years, Damon, which is that blew me away when I read that, because I thought about online learning. And I remember, and I apologize for cutting off this question, but I remember being a teacher back in the early 2000s, like when I say early, like 2000, literally, and then talking about distance learning, right? And online learning. I'm like, that's never going to fly. That's for kids who, are super smart and can handle that whole thing. And I'm thinking, man, LearnIt started in 1995, back when the internet barely existed. And if it did, it was dial-up modem. Let's talk about the early days. Let's talk about where you started with the company, and then now how you're honoring his legacy and reshaping LearnIt in your image.
So yes, LearnIt was my dad's vision, and a quick snapshot of him is our family was one of the largest real estate companies in San Francisco for a couple decades, mostly around multi-family housing, apartment buildings. We had a couple office buildings, all of these different things. And my grandfather started it after he got out of World War II, but my dad is really the one who accelerated the growth of of our family business. And I don't think he gets enough credit for it. But anyways, in the early 90s, he's like, computers are hot. I love Steve Jobs. And that was his whole thing. I was still playing baseball. And he wanted to digitize our portfolio. So he went and he took a class at CompUSA, and he just thought it was kind of boring. He dragged my sister, Chelsea, and he thought he sat there and it looked like the place was a hospital, sterile, expensive. And this gentleman read from a book, and he dragged Chelsea out of there and he said, look, there's got to be a better way to do this. And like a lot of great entrepreneurs, he found a problem that he saw and a gap and looking for a way to solve it. We had a savings loan in the 80s. He called up the CFO from that savings loan and said, you're the only guy I know who knows computers. I want to start this computer training company, and I want it to be quick and short and fun. And I want it to be a place where people can come mingle in San Francisco. I'll give you an office space and let's make it happen. And that's where LearnIt started. There wasn't no long business plan. He just threw the guy in there and said, John, let's make this happen. And I remember I told this story at our 30th anniversary party. I remember the first time I heard this story. It was the night before I hit a 3-run home run at Arizona, of all places. And my dad was there. And the next morning I went to go meet him for breakfast. He came up, he gave me a big hug because we won the series. We talked about baseball for 10 minutes. And then he's like, I got this idea I want to show you. And his buddy Jorge, and he's like, give me my notepad. And so he talked about LearnIt. He's like, we're going to start off with computer training, but it's LearnIt. So it could be learn anything, from Spanish to leadership to whatever. And that's really where LearnIt started. And I thought that was pretty interesting for about 10 minutes. But I got 20 more years of playing baseball. So what do I care about this idea? We had everything from a shopping center to a Chinese restaurant. He did all kinds of things. And so, but I went out there, hit a home run in the College World Series, and I was getting ready to be drafted for the third time. I was ready to go. I was in the hotel room because this is 1994. There was no internet. My best friend, Jacob Cruz, was my roommate. His call came first thing in the morning in Omaha because it was during the World Series. First round draft choice by the Giants. 10 other people, Quinn, got drafted. My name never came up. I was pretty depressed because that was my identity. And I didn't really want to go the independent route. I was kind of over it. I fought my dad on that a lot because he wanted, but I was kind of over it at that point. I was not happy. And I didn't want to go work at the real estate company because I was intimidated. And like I mentioned, I wasn't sure if my skills were transferable. So I took a job as a receptionist at LearnIt, and that's where I started. And I did that for two reasons. The first reason was I didn't want to be the silver spoon kid where, daddy puts him up in a high role. And I wanted to earn the respect of the 10 or 15 people we had there. And two, again, I didn't know if I was capable of doing anything. The only reason why I passed, my wife will hate me for saying this, computer DOS classes back in the day was I had a great tutor, Colleen Hayes, and who helped me at Arizona State stay eligible and learn computers. So that's where I did. I started as a receptionist. My dad never worked a single day at LearnIt. It was just his idea and his passion, but he was very supportive. And Quinn, the first thing I recognized was that a lot of these people, and it wasn't just LearnIt, but people in the corporate world didn't have the same drive that us athletes had. If we lost a deal, it was, oh, that's all right, no problem. If you showed up late, oh, that's no problem. And I'm like, what's going on around here?